Sufi vibes. Today I'm presenting a presentation on a bait of Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai from Surasa. And Surasa is the melody of hope, containing different themes starting from love, from hurt, from eyes, then maturity of love, and then moving towards mushahado or observance of reality. So this is a great poetic melody containing many themes in it, and beautifully Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai has treated every theme. And today's couplet or bait is on self-realization, self-recognition, and self-actualization. So it is very beautiful bait in Sindhi language, and it is पाण विञाए हू लहे पहिरीं पाण विञाए. पाण विञाए, lose yourself, who lahe, and then find him. पहिरीं पाण विञाए. So firstly, lose yourself. मोह मंझी पाए तो धार न सुपरी. So find him within yourself. The beloved is not separate from you. That is the translation of this bait. So firstly, lose oneself, to become out of that person or zat or the cascade of the self, and then to find the beloved, to find the destination, to find the objective, to find the goal. And search and seek within yourself, because the beloved, the goal, is not separate from you, is not anywhere outside. He is within you. So today, through that presentation, we would like to understand the linguistic structure of bait, identify important lexical and grammatical features of the bait, and to explain its mystical symbolism, interpret the philosophical concepts of fana and wahdatul wujud, compare Shah Abdul Latif's ideas with broader Sufi philosophy. Surasa is one of the mystical sources of Shah Risalo. Major themes include spiritual awakening, divine love, inner purification, self-knowledge, union with God, experiential wisdom. Rather than narrating folklore, Surasa focuses on the inward journey of the seeker toward the divine. Textual analysis structure pattern is imperative, inner search, and spiritual realization. 3 steps. The progression of this bait is in 3 steps. And bait ja iye 3 ॾाका. पहिरीं में imperative आहे, ॿियो inner search आहे. imperative आहे त हुन में ईअं हुक्मी आहे ॻाल्हि कयल, पोइ अंदर जी ॻोल्हा आहे, पोइ वरी रूहानी तौर ते कंहिं शइ जो दरियाफ़त थियण आहे. So imperative, inner search, spiritual realization. The bait progresses through 3 stages. Love yourself, search within, discover that the beloved has never been separate. Beloved is with you. If we look at the bait lexically, then we can see that Paan is a Sindhi word for self. Self is ego or nafs. Vinyay, lose or renounce ego. Who, he or God. Lahe, find spiritual realization. First, periyain, necessary discipline. Manjai, within yourself or inner consciousness. Pai, find direct experience. supreme, beloved or divine reality, dhar, separate or duality. Grammatically, the Ved consists of imperative verb. Imperative verbs, that verbs give order. Vinyay, Vinyay, Pai, Lahe. The imperative mood transforms the poem into spiritual instruction rather than philosophical speculation. The final statement is the Toham Dharana Supreme. Beloved is not separate from you. Is a declarative and presents the ultimate mystical truth. Stylistic features of this Ved are repetition of Pan. Pan emphasizes self-awareness, ego, spiritual identity. Parallelism, lose yourself, then find him, and then find him within yourself. Realize there is no separation. Brevity, only a few words express an entire Sufi metaphysics or metaphysical thought. Symbolism of this Beth is self is symbol of ego and illusion. Losing is symbol of fana or self annihilation. Finding is a spiritual realization. Within is heart and soul. Beloved is God. No separation is divine unity. Central philosophical idea of this Beth is God is never absent. The ego creates the illusion of separation. The journey is therefore not toward God, but away from the false self. This reflects Shah Latif's recurring emphasis on inner transformation rather than external rituals. Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai has focused everywhere on the realization and actualization of inner self. He starts everything from one's own end and then he goes to the other aspects. Fana or annihilation of the self. Pan Vinyay represents to the highest Sufi stages. The destruction of pride, destruction of vanity, destruction of selfishness, destruction of self-ego. Only after fana can one experience divine reality, to fana one's ego, to come out of the cascade of the persona or self. God within the human heart. Moh manjhi pai means seek within yourself. According to Sufism, God is discovered inwardly. The purified heart becomes the mirror of divine reality. External journeys are symbolic of inner journey. Wahdatul Wujud or unity of being. The concluding line is Tohan Dharana Supreme. Expresses unity of being. There is no ultimate separation between lover, beloved, seeker, sought, and love. Separation exists only because of the ego. Epistemologically, the Beth distinguishes between two kinds of knowledge: intellectual knowledge, or that is the reading, reasoning, information, and spiritual knowledge is the experience, realization, and direct witnessing or mushahido. Truth is attained through transformation, not merely by learning. गुड़ न सुना पे गाली है जहां जहां गुड़ न खाए. That is direct transformation. Comparative mysticism. If we are looking on different thinkers of the theme, we see Jalaluddin Rumi Sahab. He says, "Die before you die." Mutu kabul ant mutu, meaning destroy the ego before the physical death. Ibn Arabi, unity of being, God alone truly exists. Mansur Halak Analak, the disappearance of the individual self into divine reality. As we define the light, the absence of the darkness is called light, and the absence of light is called darkness. So is the case of ego and self-realization of the divine reality. Psychological interpretation of this faith is modern psychology also recognizes the dangers of excessive ego. Charlotte proposes self-awareness, self-transcendence, inner peace, authentic identity, universal compassion. The spiritual journey becomes transformation of consciousness rather than merely a religious obligation. Literary characteristics of this faith are imperative discourse, mystical symbolism, semantic paradox, minimalism, repetition, philosophical compression, inner dialogue, oral musical rhythm. Contemporary relevance of this faith, because this faith remains very much relevant because it addresses to identity crisis, and entire world is in identity crisis and everyone is in search of identity. Materialism, mental restlessness, search for meaning, spiritual alienation, inner peace. It reminds us that lasting fulfillment comes from self-knowledge and humility rather than external achievement. Key Sufi concepts are shared through this faith are fana, prana divine realization, who lahe, find him, inner search, manjhain part, unity of being, dharana supreme, mushahido, and if we are concluding this discussion, then we can say that Shabdulati Bitai presents the entire mystical path in 4 concise stages. Recognize the ego, annihilate the ego, seek the divine within, realize that beloved has never been separate. The Ved encapsulates a central Sufi insight. It is that the greatest barrier between the seeker and the God is not distance, but the illusion of separate self. So this faith gives very beautiful thought and very much matter on the Sufism and metaphysics and also self-realization. Through this faith, we can realize inner self, as it is said that man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabbahu. Anyone who has recognized himself, he has recognized the God. So it is all about the recognition, and in this world there is a very much crisis of identity. Everyone is in search of identity, and all the holding of the universal resources is also for that purpose, and everyone tries to prevail throughout the arena of the world by that holding of resources, by technological know-how and by arms even, to be in the fore and to show as a prominence in the world. That is identity crisis. From a single poor person to the whole society, and from poor countries or poor societies to the very much so-called developed societies. It is cross-cutting crisis of identity, and this faith reflects that we can treat that ailment, social ailment, and we can come out of that crisis. And we can only come out of that crisis on focusing on ourselves, and everything starts from ourselves. First end and foremost end is our own self. In that journey, that is started from our own end. It will be the good journey and journey leading towards success. So now I would like to I would like to add some points in Sindhi language also. The ही बैत पाण विञाइण, मंज़िल पाइण, पिरी पाइण, अलाह पाइण ऐं उन ते आहे, पर उहो आहे त उहा सॼी शइ तव्हां अंदरि आहे ऐं उहा का ॿाहिरि न आहे। हिसुर आसा जो बैत आहे, हिन में हिकिड़ा ॾाका आहिनि। त पहिरियों ॾाको अमरी ॾाको आहे, पाण विञाए हू लहे, पहिरीं पाण विञाए। ऐं ॿियो आहे सुञाणण जो, ॻोल्हण जो, ॻोल्हा जो ॾाको आहे ऐं टियों आहे ॻोल्हे लहण जो ॾाको। त इहे टई स्टेप्स आहिनि जेके माण्हू खे दुनिया जे हुन कम में बि अचनि था ऐं जेका स्पिरिचुअल या रूहानी ॻोल्हा आहे उन में बि कमु अचनि था। सो वी कैन से दैट दिस इज वेरी मच ब्यूटीफुल थॉट फोकसिंग ऑन firstly to come out of the cascade of self and then search your object and goal, and then to seek and find your own goal or your destination, beloved Almighty Allah, whatsoever you say. So in this way, first stage is losing yourself, and that is very hard stage, because it is primary stage, and that primary stage matters a lot, because only that stage takes us to the next stage, and that stage is search within. If we are not losing ourselves, we may not search properly, and if we are not searching properly, then we cannot find anything properly. So, for the second stage, that first stage leads us to the second stage, and second stage, that is searching within, it takes us to the discovery of the beloved, discovery of the divine reality, discovery of our destination or objective or such type of things. So it is all about that search, and that search is search from within yourself. Start from your end, not others' end, and it makes us very successful in journey. And all the journeys are primarily intellectual journeys, and then they also step down into the arena of action. Action is also second part or second step of the intellectual journey, and then the third and the last step is discovery, and that discovery is the self-realization and discovery of the beloved, discovery of the actual realization. So all of these stages are intellectual journey. That journey starts from losing oneself, losing selfishness, losing that cascade that is ego, and to be connected with the universe, to be connected in the conciseness and wholeness of this universe, and then search within. And that within searching is also a great cause of human being. When we are searching within oneself, then we talk to ourselves, we make dialogue with ourselves, and we communicate with ourselves. And that communication leads us to the discovery of the beloved, discovery of our object, discovery of that divine reality. And that is gist of this baith. Paan vinyaye, hu lahe, pehri paan vinyaye. Paan vinyaye, hu lahe, pehri paan vinyaye. Moh manjhi paay, toan dharan sipri. Supri. So, firstly, lose yourself, then find him. So, lose yourself and seek and search beloved, and that that search must be within, and you will discover that beloved too. So, thank you very much. You have watched me, and kindly share your ideas on these thoughts and themes. Shah Abdul Latif has offered a great thought in this regard. Thank you very much.